How's everyone doing? And hopefully you guys had some awesome luck on the Gojo gacha. It's been out for a little bit. I did not do a video for it. I've actually not uploaded all too much this week because I had my birthday a couple of days ago. Thank you for everyone that wished me that on the 6th. Also, I had, and I still have, so if I cough in this video, just, sorry. But I've been pretty sick off and on. And lately now I'm mostly okay, but now I'm just kind of dealing with coughing. It's all it really is. In fact, last night I was coughing so hard, so bad that it gave me a headache. It was crazy, right? So today, anyway, with Gojo, we're going to talk about this a little bit. We're going to cycle from there, talk about what is great about Gojo, what teams to use him on. I know this is probably a bit late, but I also want to just test him out a little bit. I haven't really had the opportunity to do so. This is my second attempt at recording this video. So anyway, I do have Gojo. I have since done a few more singles, but I got him at the 48th pull. If you look at my gotcha points down there. So I've got 51. You get one per single or one per summon. So I was at about 48 when I got him. So that was pretty cool. And I was like, I'm not going to spend any money for him. I'm not going to do any of that. And I'm not going to go crazy until I get Gojo. I wasn't interested in that either. To be fair, if I was interested in that, I think I would probably do it from Momo. Excuse me. Momo is really good. It's really, and she's going to be in the general pool later. I don't know when later, especially on the global version, but it's really unfortunate that she's live right now because she's a character I was looking forward to coming out because I really considered going for her, but she's really, really good. And she's going to be on some of the best Gojo teams and just some of the best teams in general. But yeah, I guess we'll see if I can potentially get lucky and get her at some point. Also, one thing about the whole like hyper fast release schedule that they're doing is that they didn't release the event for Momo, right? Like they're skipping events, apparently. That's what I hear and stuff like that. So correct me if I'm mistaken, of course, but that seems to be the case. And that's not great. All right, so Gojo. I did not pull a dupe. I put the extra Resonant Soul in him. And the reason I did that was just for the stat increases. You don't really need to go crazy here because he's not getting extra curse energy. Really what this is you get the extra stat increases, which is great. But that's all I really wanted to do here. So I was pretty content with getting that. Just a little bit, 25%. I'm great with that. So all in all, though, in terms of Gojo, he is an incredibly strong character. I haven't played the tower yet, but I hear that you want him for the tower because you're going to have matches where they're weak to green, and you can do other fun stuff like I want to do. Like I've been working on Panda a little bit. I want to use him with the SR Kaito with the memory and all that stuff to see if I can pull off the triple revive thing people are talking about. I think that could be kind of fun. But regardless, you want to have a wider, diverse roster with elements, and green, quite frankly, kind of sucks. Without Mahito, I'm sure it would suck with him too, but it especially sucks. So that's where Gojo is going to come in and be really handy going forward. So in terms of him, I want to go back to him. So what he does is he's got some crazy debuffs in here that are really, really strong. So this skill here applies a damage taken increase to the enemies for 2 turns and applies 10% damage dealt increase to them as well for 1 turn. Which is a negative effect, and also applies a 65% damage dealt increase to self for 2 turns. That's extremely strong. And then right here, applies 100% break damage to self for 1 time, deals range attack damage to enemies equal to curse energy, hits 4 times. That's really good too. So he's also got an effect in here. I don't know how you can view characteristics, but he's got a characteristic that when he lands a critical, I think that I have to pull it up. I have to pull his page back up, but he does something specific when he lands a crit. But regardless, he does that stuff. And oh no, maybe it's right here. Is it? No, it's not here. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to figure it out in a minute. But anyway, the basic skill here also melee damage equal to 358% of physical attack, critical rate large, large crit rate, I guess. Applies 15% physical technique decrease for them for 2 turns and applies cursed energy technique decrease as well, making your team more tanky. So the big thing with him is that he hits like a truck, like a nuke, I should say, on the ultimate. Damage to all enemies, a really high modifier, decreases their ultimate counts, which is really strong. However, he does leave after he uses the ultimate. So he's now got 2 conditions to leave because he really doesn't like you and doesn't want to be on your team. Oh, my bad. Accidentally opened up a video on the side. He really doesn't want to be on your team. He really wants to leave you. By the way, if you're interested in basketball, we cover the entire league. I have a channel for that, so that's a fun thing. But yeah, I want to pull this up on the side for Hollow Purple Gojo. But he's got that characteristic as well, which is what I'm looking for here to see if I can find it. All in all, though, Gojo is really strong. The main skills you kind of want to enhance, it doesn't really matter a ton, because he's not using cursed energy, so he's mostly okay with anything. But if you're looking to prioritize, like, you know, the investment of levels, I'd prioritize the ultimate, skill 2, and then you could go skill 1 or 3. It kind of doesn't really matter all that much, but you really want to put as much into the ultimate. Let me know in the comments down below which Gojo you think is better between him and the blue Gojo in the game. The main reason to pick blue Gojo is because he can ultimate more than once, so that's like the main saving grace for him. So characteristic, increases his critical hit rate when he does the black flash. That's what it is. Okay, so all in all, though, let's see what we have outside of that. We're gonna go to the enhanced recollection bits. So the main recollections you're gonna want to use on Gojo is gonna be non-standard. I only pulled 2. I have put 2 extra dupes in it to push it to 3. You know, the universal one. So non-standard is extremely strong just in general on any character that does curse technique damage. So there's that. And there are also versions of these that are kind of similar to non-standard. You could use one of those that's kind of similar. I also like this enhanced effect here, or awaken effect here. Recovers 200 ultimate gauge to himself. I mean, that may or may not be counterproductive depending on when you want your Gojo to leave, but it is what it is. You don't have to trigger it. But outside of that, I think the main thing you would want to use is Pride. As a free one, this is easily, I mean, probably just the best. Yeah, it's a SS tier memory, regardless of if it's free or not. So you probably want to use this if you don't have non-standard pretty much always. There are other cheeky ones you can use, like you can use Adult Time. I think Adult Time is probably really good on him, especially with that skill 3, because he could trigger this pretty easily because he hits 4 times, I believe. You get the extra damage, 70%. You'll take that, right? It's not cursed or anything like that. It's just flat damage. You'll take that. You can do the Gojo camping. There's also some cheeky ones that'll make Gojo, because he's got attack nullification. They'll put aggro on him, so you've got like a invincible tank type thing going on. You could do that too. You do compromise on the damage if you do that, but that's mostly everything. Yeah, but like I said, non-standard Pride is mostly where you're going to go with that. So in terms of teams, this is how teams look. So with Gojo, this is not the team to use. With Gojo, his team construction largely consists of most of the same stuff that you're probably already familiar with. But there is a little bit of a curveball. For one, a huge character that I don't have that would be on his team a lot of the time anyway is the Momo, especially because, you know, she does multiple things, but one thing I really like about her, she increases your crit rate, either increases your crit rate or it debuffs the opponent. Extra crit damage as well, so Gojo's just going to hit so hard, he's going to get that extra crit rate, things like that. It's going to be really good. She's going to be like, she's so good, you can pair her with largely anybody. But outside of that, though, you're going to put Gojo alongside your typical supports, Nanami, Yaga, Kaito. There are some other teams you can run. Inumaki, if you wanted to speed run your other characters to their ultimate, things like that. You just got to be very careful. You also could use Megami. He's just a little bit tricky because you need to get the domain off first, but he's still one of the better characters in the game, period. SS character, in my opinion. But that's mostly what the team would consist of those types of characters. So you can also run a secondary attacker if you wanted to do that. You can go 2 supports, 2 attackers. You can't do blue Gojo, of course, but at that point, you could probably do Yuta if you want to. Just be careful because, you know, Yuta, Yaga, it's like, okay, are you versus a blue enemy? Because it's not going to work great. So you can go somewhere else. Otherwise, I'm trying really hard to like Green Yuji. I'm trying really hard. I'm not there. Maybe if I got Momo, I'd like him more. Maybe. I'm not there. I just can't so far. He's kind of just whatever, if I'm being honest. But I guess the second attacker would probably be Megami, and that's what you would do. Now, if you were building out your team, the memories that you would typically want to put on are going to be damage increase 1, so you can just spike Gojo's damage as much as possible. Death of the Wasp. This one here is another one you can put on. This one with Megami. So those are primarily ones you can put on. You can also put on other ones that would help you with getting your ultimate gauge on certain characters more quickly, so you can obviously set that up, get a combination ultimate going, things like that. I think really the most important thing with Gojo is that when you commit to using his ultimate, you need to be positive that that is your win condition, or that you are going to be winning really soon after. I've had situations where I've only tested him a little bit. I've had situations where he uses the ultimate and then the match, like it's 1v1 or something like that, right? Depending on the content you're taking on, if you're versus like a blue enemy and you're trying to use the Yaga, all that stuff. And basically you're just kind of like, all right, 1v1, 2v1, whatever it is, and you're trying to win from there. He's pushed them pretty far. Maybe he doesn't knock them out, but it's a little bit tricky. He does buy you some time with the break ability that he does have. I do like that a lot. In fact, I wonder if that goes up when he upgrades the skill. No, just the damage. It's 100. Well, it's 100%. I mean, that's not bad. But he does buy you some time by pushing them quicker into the break, so that's another thing to consider with him. So all in all, though, I think he's an awesome character. But again, just kind of depends on what you're doing and what you're taking on. As with every other character in the game right now, you don't have to worry so much about getting him right now in particular, unless you're trying to push through a specific stage of the tower primarily, or unless you want to get the bonus points for his event that's ongoing, I guess. That's not really like the biggest reason to say go pull for a certain character, but he will eventually be added to the general pool, so you don't have to worry about that all too much. So what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna do a couple of matches with him. Curse energy out. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna do a couple matches with him. We're gonna take him here, and then we'll take him to Jogo. I've actually not beat. Well, I haven't tried. I've been trying to do this is why I said I'm not like so keen on Yuji. I've been trying to figure out a way to do Yuji and get him to win the Jogo fight for me. And I've been buffing him, and also by extension, I've been buffing some other characters I want to try. It's unfortunate that he's blue because it makes it really hard to use Toto. So, but anyway, we're gonna just kind of come in here and we'll see what we can do. I am gonna change this around though, because excuse me, most of this kind of doesn't really matter a ton. I just kind of need to get set up, so we're gonna change this around. So the good news is, I mean, you don't really need our Kaito all that much. I mean, he's useful for the other characters, but Gojo doesn't use any curse energy. You've still got 7 turns, so you've got to be fast with Gojo. You've got to be fast regardless. So I could do this. Yeah, I think we'll do this. And we'll try to push a little bit quicker. I'm going to push this back here to Nanami because I'm not planning on using Nanami. So we're going to just keep that bonus. I'll put adult time here. And we'll switch these two out. Don't want to use this. When the target enemies are in break status or when self puts them in a break, you gain the ultimate gauge. Increases ultimate gauge, fill rate for allies. Yeah, I want to put on the other one, but I'll put this one on. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, we'll go with this. I'm still not great at the game, by the way. I've been playing it for damn near a month, but I love it though. It's really fun. It's unfortunate that it's managed the way it is. Not great at it though, so bear with me on that. But thank you. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. We're gonna go for this. Still kind of early for me to really do much of anything though. Just gonna try to push him in a break. Gonna go for the basic there. Gojo's cursed energy usage is hilarious, man. It's too funny. Also, the good thing about that third skill is he hits so many times, so you may trigger a black flash. It's pretty funny. Still a little bit premature. Go for another basic there. Actually, it's not all that premature. No, I would still like to use... Wait, this one can't trigger a thing, huh? Because it's curse technique. Interesting. You'd have to use the basic. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, you do want to use the basic a lot more. I'm gonna go for the basic here. Wrong target. Okay, so I will go for the domain now. We're gonna start trying to get set up here. Okay. I'm gonna go for the basic. Buff. Attack. Buff. Got 3 turns on Gojo. Okay. So I'm gonna use the ultimate on the final turn. That's not great, but whatever. What does this do? Recovers the HP. It's kind of ass. All right. There's a break. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we have. Ooh, oh, okay. What was that? 3.7? Okay, all's well that ends well. Looked like it did about 4.1. Not bad for my first try at that. A little overkill. I guess he only has 3 million life, but okay. Not bad. Not bad for my first try. Yeah, that went pretty good. So Jogo is a little bit more specific because he does have this is not it. He does have the like the easy way to, I know the easy way to beat Jogo is to just cheese him with the stuns. But like I kind of don't want to do that. I don't know. Kind of weird. I'll actually give Nanami something. I'll give him purifying, whatever. I kind of don't want to do it. I might do it though. Well, the reality is that I'm very underleveled for this, supposedly anyway. I'm 30k below, but you know, synergy matters more. So I may not clear this on my first try. Forgive me if I make any misplays. Just letting you know ahead of time. All right, so I'll start things off here. I mean, the damage I do kind of early doesn't really matter all that much, but you know what I will do is I'll focus on trying to get Gojo to do as much damage as possible early, because that's where this could get a little bit tricky, is if my Gojo's not doing damage for me here. I kind of need him to. Did not get a stun. Okay. It's not surprising. Unsurprising that Inumaki went down instantly. Literally instantly. This looks like it's going to be a fail. All because Inumaki missed the stun. Typically, though, if he misses the stun, you have to start over. Yep, not gonna work. Too much damage. So I'm not gonna try to rely on the Inumaki stun. I'm also not gonna try this 10 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. If we get it, great. If we don't get it, it's fine. I mean, it also serves the purpose if I just take on this Gojo, or this Jogo, excuse me, with Gojo. A little bit of a cop-out, I'm not gonna lie to you, but kind of serves the purpose. And I don't have to rely on RNG as much. So same strategy as before, though. He's gonna get the ultimate off here. I actually want Inumaki to die. He did, okay. Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, so we got to wait a little bit. It's a good thing Gojo doesn't care about that. This is where this one's going to be a little tricky. This is Gojo's last turn too. That's great. There's no way. There's no way that he lives, or that he doesn't. That Gojo's around after this. We didn't get enough support, so we'll see. Yeah, we didn't get enough support because he got the domain off. And so that's kind of like, if you don't set up perfectly, you could be in for a tough time. But it's all right because we should be able to still push this one through. Perfect. We got Nanami right on time. Such a silly attack. He just hits the ground and the dude takes a lot of damage. Excuse me. Such a silly attack. All right. So yeah, we saw the good and the bad of Gojo. Not the best possible showcase, but if you are not like, if you're gonna build a Gojo nuke team, you've got to get the support. And so this is a little bit of a specific case where it's like a little bit hard for him to do that because this guy will just run through your red characters. And unfortunately, the characters that you need to use are red typically, which is, again, we circle back to Momo because she would have been fine. I could have used SR Momo, but the trick with SR Momo is that she gives a huge buff for one turn. So, I mean, that's good. It's better than nothing. It's better than your red character going down. So maybe that's still the move. And her with her stuns could, like, she's got a lower chance on the stun, but her and Inumaki together, maybe double stuns chances, you know, maybe it works. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you all next time, guys. Take it easy.